Hello friends, we will discuss about some important topics of developmental biology now. First of all, the very most important question of developmental biology is how differentiation occurs. Differentiation is, first of all, you need to understand the meaning of differentiation. Differentiation means, suppose this is the egg cell. Suppose this is the egg cell and you have to, this is the egg cell and it combines with sperm to form the embryo. It forms the embryo. In this embryo, cleavage occurs. This is the first cleavage, suppose, and suppose then a second cleavage occurs in this axis and one in the vertical axis and second one in the horizontal axis. So the resulting cells formed are known as blastocyst. Right. So what is, suppose I name these cells as A, B, C and D. What determines that A is going to form something, B is going to form something? See, suppose I say A forms the head, B forms the tail, C forms the abdomen. Suppose C is forming the abdomen and suppose D is forming the lungs. So what is the force that is determining that A is going to form the head? What makes A differentiate into head? What makes B differentiate into tail? This is the process of differentiation. Now differentiation process is divided into two parts. One part is known as specification and second one is known as determination. Specification means, one more word for specification is there, that is commitment. In the specification stage, the cell decides, it commits to become something. For example, this A has committed to become the head. B has committed to become the tail but has not become tail or head by now, but it has just decided, it has made a decision. So when decision is being made, the process is known as specification, also known as commitment. This specification process is of three types. The first type of specification is autonomous specification. Second one is syncytial specification and the third one is conditional specification. Right? In autonomous specification, this is the overall example. We can, suppose we take this example, this is of autonomous specification. So what happens? See, there are no inductive signals. There are no inductive signals in autonomous specification. This cell A is totally independent of B. B is totally independent of C, A and D. Similarly, D is totally independent. Now suppose at some stage of cell division, I remove this D. We remove this D from the cell which had to form the lungs. So in the newly formed organism, the new organism that will form, it will form the head, tail and abdomen but will not form the lungs. So this type of determination is known as autonomous determination. Here in autonomous determination, the pattern of development, this type of pattern of development which has occurred over here, it is known as mosaic pattern of development. This is mosaic development. I will underline it. Yeah. And the cells in this type of determination, the division, it is invariant, cannot change itself. B cannot change itself into D, or it cannot happen that some cells of D, some cells of A or B, they migrate into this region and start forming D. It will not happen. It will always remain like this. And mosaic differentiate. This type of specification, it works in invertebrates, not in vertebrates, and in invertebrates also, in lower invertebrates, this type of specification occurs. Here, now I'll talk about syncytial specification. What happens? Just let me rub out the other portions. In syncytial specification, a syncytium is formed. In syncytial specification, what happens? Suppose this is the embryo, and suppose this is the nucleus, right? So in syncytial specification, this nucleus starts dividing itself further and further. Suppose nucleus divides into two, so it will form two. These two divide further and they form four. The four divide further and they form eight. And these nuclei arrange themselves all around the periphery. These are the nuclei. Arrange themselves around the periphery of the embryo. Overall cell does not divide, only the nuclei divide themselves. So this type of specification is known as syncytial specification. In this, the protein, suppose this is nuclei number 1, this is nuclei 2, this is 3, and suppose this is nuclei 10, 11 and 12. So the protein produced by nuclei 1 will be more in this region. Suppose this is A region, and this is B region, and this is C region. So the protein produced by this 1 will be more in the A region, and will be least in the C region, and will be very high in the B region. Similarly, the protein produced by this 12, 11, 12 or 13 will be more in the C region and will be least in the A region. So they form a kind of morphogenetic gradients. The term is morphogenetic gradient. Here we will discuss about syncytial specification in one more video, taking the example of Drosophila. Drosophila is the best example of syncytial specification. Here, the third type of specification is conditional specification. Third type is, I will write over here, conditional specification. See, this type of specification occurs in higher invertebrates and vertebrates. It does not occur in lower invertebrates. In lower invertebrates, we talked before, autonomous specification occurs. Now what happens? Suppose this is a cell, this is an embryonic cell, and it is divided into 4 cells, suppose say A, B, C and D, and this is the head region. Suppose you remove some cells from this region, I will color them in say black. You have removed some cells from this region, and after removing the cells from this region, we remove the cells from this region and planted these cells in this region. Say I write A over here, right? I am talking about conditional specification. We remove some cells from this A region and place these cells in the C region. So what will happen? A was forming the head, we spoke, C was forming the abdomen, and D was forming the lungs, and B was forming tail. We discussed just before, right? So what will happen? Still everything will form normally, right? Some cells will from this A region will migrate into this region and fill up this void. Similarly, some signals from this C region will come to this A region and transform this A further into C. So this will form the abdomen itself, and this will form the A, that is head itself. There is no change as such. So this is known as conditional, depends on the condition, right? And the type of development, is a regulative development. Last time we spoke about that was mosaic development, and this is regulative. Regulation is there, right? So suppose you remove one region, like before we spoke. Suppose you remove this D, so will lungs not be formed? No, they will be formed. Some cells from C will send signals to cells present over here. Suppose some cells were present over here. C will send signals to this region. A will send signals to this region. Maybe B also sends signals to this region and make D form over here once again. So this is known as regulative development or conditional development, and this type of specification, this type of cellular commitment is known as conditional specification, right? Now what are these signals known as? There is a specific term for these signals. These signals are known as inductive signals, and the phenomena inductive signals, and the phenomena is known as induction. In my next video, I will talk about induction in great detail. Thank you.